Longevity isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. What if I told you that the way we think about aging, health, and medicine is completely wrong? For decades, we've been told that growing old means slowing down, getting weaker, and eventually becoming a prisoner to disease. But what if it didn't have to be that way? Welcome to Outlive, The Science Art of Longevity by Dr. Peter Attia, a groundbreaking book that rewrites the rules on how we approach aging and health. Unlike the traditional healthcare system, which waits for things to go wrong before treating them, Attia believes in proactive medicine, detecting and preventing disease years before it happens. Think of your body like a high-performance car. If you wait for the check engine light to come on before taking action, you're already in trouble. Outlive teaches you how to optimize your nutrition, exercise, sleep, and mental health to not just live longer, but live better. In this summary, we'll break down the 6 most powerful principles from Outlive, backed by science, made simple, and sprinkled with humor. Because let's be honest, health advice is easier to remember when it makes you laugh. So buckle up, because by the end of this audiobook, you'll have the blueprint to outlive the outdated ideas about aging and build a future where you're stronger, sharper, and healthier for decades to come. Let's dive in. 6 essential ideas. Medicine is backward, prevention overreaction. Let's be real, modern medicine is like a bad firefighter. It waits for the fire to destroy half the house before showing up with a garden hose. The current healthcare system is designed to react after a problem appears, instead of preventing it in the first place. Dr. Attia flips the script, saying that we should be treating things like heart disease, diabetes, and neurodegeneration decades before they become life-threatening. Think of your health like a retirement fund. The earlier you invest, the better the payoff. Example 1. Imagine 2 guys. One starts weight training, eating well, and keeping his blood markers in check at 30. The other spends decades ignoring his health, relying on good genes. Fast forward to their 60s. One is biking through Europe, the other is arguing with his doctor about cholesterol meds while wheezing up a single flight of stairs. Who do you want to be? Example 2. Think of a car. You take it in for oil changes, rotate the tires, and check the brakes before something breaks down. But when it comes to our own bodies, we wait until the engine is smoking before going to the mechanic. Attia's point? Don't treat your health worse than your car. Exercise is the best longevity drug, and it's free. Dr. Attia doesn't just recommend exercise, he treats it as medicine. Strength training keeps muscles strong, aerobic fitness keeps your heart young, and balance training prevents falls, which can be life-threatening as you age. The goal isn't just to live long, but to stay functional while doing it. Attia even has a concept called the centenarian decathlon, a list of physical tasks you want to be able to do at 100, like getting off the floor without help, carrying groceries, and even playing with grandkids. Example 1. Imagine 2 versions of your 85-year-old self. One can squat down to pick up a dropped phone, no problem. The other stares at the floor, debating whether it's worth the risk of throwing out their back. The difference? Consistent strength training years earlier. Example 2. Ever seen that uncle at a wedding who thinks he can still do the worm, but ends up in physical therapy? Mobility and strength aren't just for the gym. They help you avoid becoming that guy whose dance moves lead to a hospital visit. Nutrition. It's not one size fits all. If you're looking for a single magic diet, Attia's got bad news. There isn't one. The best diet is the one that keeps your blood sugar stable, prevents inflammation, and fuels longevity. That means cutting out ultra-processed junk and focusing on whole, nutrient-dense foods. Whether that's keto, Mediterranean, or something else depends on your body. But one thing's universal. Excess sugar, refined carbs, and processed food will age you fast. Example 1. Picture your office coworker who grabs a donut and coffee for breakfast. He's hyped up at 9 a.m., crashes at 10, and by noon, he's debating if he can nap under his desk. Meanwhile, you ate eggs, avocado, and some nuts. You're sharp, focused, and secretly judging his 4th cup of coffee. Example 2. Imagine if people treated their bodies like they treat their cars. You wouldn't pour soda into a gas tank and expect it to run, right? But somehow, We act shocked when years of processed food leave us sluggish and sick. You're either fueling performance or digging your own grave. Choose wisely. Sleep is the most underrated superpower. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's when your brain takes out the trash, your body repairs itself, and your hormones reset. Yet, people treat sleep like an optional bonus, thinking they can catch up on weekends. Attia warns that chronic sleep deprivation is linked to everything from Alzheimer's to heart disease. If you're not getting quality sleep, you're not just tired, you're actively sabotaging your health. Example 1. Think of your brain like a messy office desk. Sleep is the janitor that comes in at night to sort the papers, delete spam emails, and take out the garbage. Skip sleep too often, and suddenly your brain is an episode of Hoarders, cluttered, confused, and full of useless junk from years ago. Example 2. Ever told yourself, just 5 more minutes of scrolling at midnight, only to realize it's suddenly 2 a.m.? That's the adult version of I'll just eat one chip. The next morning, your brain is buffering and you're walking into walls. Prioritize sleep, it's free, and it works better than any supplement. Emotional health, don't ignore your mind. You can have a six-pack and eat perfectly, but if you're constantly stressed, angry, or lonely, your health will still suffer. Attia emphasizes that mental health isn't separate from physical health, it's part of it. Chronic stress and unresolved trauma increase inflammation, accelerate aging, and shorten lifespan. Learning to manage stress, nurture relationships, and find purpose is just as important as hitting the gym. Example 1. Stress is like a credit card. A little charge here and there seems fine, until one day you check the balance and realize you're drowning in interest burnout. The only way out? Start making minimum payments now, aka prioritize rest, therapy, or whatever helps you de-stress. Example 2. Imagine 2 people stuck in traffic. One is cursing, honking, and aging themselves 5 years in 20 minutes. The other is listening to a podcast, maybe this one, sipping coffee, and vibing. Both arrive at the same time. One just took years off their life with rage, while the other got smarter. Plan for the 100-year life. Attia wants you to stop thinking of longevity as just not dying early. It's about living well for longer. That means training for old age now, not waiting until you're frail. Most people only start worrying about their mobility and health when it's already too late. His advice? Treat aging like a sport you're training for. Strength, balance, cognitive function, and social connections all need regular maintenance. Example 1. Imagine you're 90 and your grandkids ask you to come outside and play. One version of you says, absolutely. The other wishes they could, but physically can't. The difference? One trained for aging like an athlete. The other hoped for the best. Example 2. Think of life like a cross-country road trip. If you don't plan your stops, pack supplies, or check your route, you might break down in the middle of nowhere. If you start preparing now, your 90-year-old self will thank you. Final thoughts. At its core, Outlive isn't just about living longer, it's about living better. Dr. Peter Attia challenges the outdated, reactive approach to health and gives us a powerful roadmap for preventing disease before it starts. Through exercise, nutrition, sleep, and emotional well-being, he shows that aging well is a choice, not just luck. The key takeaway? Start training for your future now, because the habits you build today will determine the quality of your life decades from now. And that's a wrap on Outlive, The Science Art of Longevity by Dr. Peter Attia. Rocket, if there's one thing to take away from this book, it's that aging doesn't have to mean decline. It can mean strength, resilience, and vitality if we take action now. Your future self is depending on the choices you make today, whether it's how you move, eat, sleep, or manage stress. So don't just wait to see what happens. Take control of your health and outlive the outdated expectations of aging. If you enjoyed the summary, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more books in minutes, because knowledge is power, and in this case, it might just add years to your life.